everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Modern Sense Minute. I'm your host, Andrea Thompson. So, I was scrolling through the news this morning and saw a headline in the Globe and Mail that I just had to talk about for this week's episode. The article was called Educated High Earning Canadian Investors Turn to Finfluencers for Money Advice. And honestly, this is not something new that I just happened to notice. It's just become so much more prevalent and in our face lately. We are all spending a lot more time on our phones than we did 10 years ago. It feels like every time we're scrolling, we're hit with these quick, like wealth hacks or investment tips that make financial topics feel a lot less intimidating than they used to. The article in the Globe highlights something that I think we're all seeing. Even people with big paychecks are paying closer attention to these online creators. And it's not because they've outgrown professional advice, it's because they're looking for someone who speaks their language. So, whether you're just starting to save or you've been investing for a long time, there's a real pull towards that content that feels transparent and easy to digest in smaller increments, which is why I'm doing this Modern Sense Minute, by the way. Smaller, easier to digest. At the end of the day, though, I think most clients are just looking for clarity. You want to feel like you're part of the conversation about your own money rather than just being told what to do in a way that maybe feels old fashioned or overly formal. But here's the thing, and I saw a perfect example of this on my feed today. It was one of those millionaire couple posts, which you may have seen where they say, partner A makes 75,000, partner B makes 120,000, and then the caption reads, just live off one income, invest the other, and then boom, you're a millionaire in 10 years. And that sounds, really easy, right? Partnership makes profit, I think was the name of that particular post. But if we're being real for a second, that post is saying to invest, let's say, between 75 to $120,000 a year. If you make $120,000 a year in Canada, you're not taking home 125,000. The government taxes you first and you'd be lucky to have, let's say, 85,000 after tax. So unless this hypothetical couple plans on living in a tent, not driving anywhere amidst these crazy oil prices and eating air, the math really doesn't work in most large urban centers in Canada. But this is what the article warns us about. We're getting financial entertainment from some of these influencers. It gets you hyped up, but it really often skips over the important parts like taxes and, budgeting and the reality of what life actually costs us. There was a second one that I came across as well about the 2026 TFA limit. It was a graphic telling you to put just $270 every 2 weeks into specific ETFs. It actually says the three ETFs you should be buying, which that's securities advice. You should not be doing that. Anyway, it calls the TFSA a tax-free wealth machine. And that advice isn't wrong per se, but here's the catch. Personal finance is personal. Online advice is like a one size fits all t shirt, which might look good on the mannequin, but that doesn't mean it fits you as an individual. So the creator on the screen doesn't know you and your risk tolerance or your debt, or whether you're saving for a major purchase next summer or a house in 10 years. They're just giving you the high points, the what. But only you or somebody who knows your whole story can actually figure out the details and the how to get it done. Everyone's situation is different, and your life and your goals are the variables that all of those viral posts just leave out and make it seem way too oversimplified. So, what is the move that you should be making here? The Globe article actually says these creators are doing a great job of making us more informed because we're showing up, we're asking better questions, and we're not just nodding along anymore in meetings. We're part of the conversation. So, what's my advice on how you should approach all of this? It's great to enhance financial literacy and to use the creators for inspiration and let them let you get excited about contributing to your TFSA. But when it comes to the actual strategy, you have to make it yours and don't let something that you saw quickly on Instagram or TikTok decide what you're going to do for the next 30. And if you want to see research behind why so many of us are turning to social media for our money moves, I'll drop the article in the show notes. It's a really great read. Encourage you to take a look at it. Once again, I'm Andrea Thompson. This is Modern Sense Minute. Stay skeptical, stay curious, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.